Silent Village, Part 3, Final. The pale faces in the windows didn't blink. Their glowing eyes followed Daniel and the woman as they stood frozen in the courtyard. The silence pressed down heavier than any sound. The woman's hand tightened around his arm. "Don't move," she whispered. "If we run now, they'll hunt us down faster." Daniel's pulse hammered in his ears. "Then what do we do?" She didn't answer. Her gaze was locked on the church tower rising above the houses. Its broken bell swayed gently, though there was no wind. The soundless motion made Daniel's stomach twist. "They're waiting," she finally said, "for the hollow." The ground beneath their feet trembled. From the direction of the pit beneath the church, a deep rumble echoed, as if the earth itself was breathing. Shadows spilled from the windows, stretching unnaturally toward the courtyard. And then, one by one, the villagers stepped outside. They moved in unison, slow and deliberate, circling Daniel and the woman. Their faces were pale masks, mouths closed, eyes glowing. None of them spoke, but Daniel felt the chant in his mind, the same guttural words from the book in the church. "Blood, blood, blood," he staggered, clutching his head. The voices weren't sound. They were thought, pressing inside his skull. The woman shouted over the silence in his mind. "Fight it! Don't let them in!" "How?" Daniel gasped. But she had no answer. Instead, she stepped forward, raising her hands. "Take me instead," she cried. "He doesn't belong here." The villagers halted, their heads turned in perfect unison, eyeless sockets of light fixed on her. Daniel's throat closed. "What are you doing?" Tears streamed down her cheeks. "This is the only way. One of us must stay." The earth shook violently. Cracks split the cobblestones of the courtyard, and from them seeped a thick, black mist. The air grew suffocating, heavy with rot. Daniel stumbled backward as the ground split open. From the chasm, something began to rise. It wasn't a creature in any form Daniel knew. It was absence, a shape of pure void, darker than night, shifting and writhing. Tendrils of shadow reached toward the sky, pulling the air itself into its hunger. The villagers fell to their knees, faces still blank, bowing toward the thing. The hollow. Daniel's flashlight flared back to life for a moment, its weak beam slicing through the darkness. For a split second, he saw faces within the shadows, screaming, twisted, endless souls trapped in the void. The woman shoved him hard. "Run!" He stumbled toward a narrow alley, but his legs refused to move. The hollow's voice seeped into his bones. "Stay! Feed me! Join them!" His vision blurred. The alley stretched further away, as though the village itself was warping. His lungs burned as if the air had turned to ash. He felt his body leaning forward, drawn toward the chasm. The woman's scream cut through the fog in his mind. She threw herself between Daniel and the pit, her arms outstretched. "Take me! Leave him!" The shadows lunged, wrapping around her like serpents. She didn't resist. She only met Daniel's eyes one last time. "Run!" And then she was gone, swallowed into the void. The villagers rose to their feet, their glowing eyes dimming as the hollow consumed its offering. The pit sealed itself slowly, the ground knitting back together, leaving only cracked stone. The silence returned. Daniel stood trembling, staring at the empty courtyard. The villagers turned their heads toward him. Their eyes no longer glowed, but something worse filled their gaze. Hunger. They took one synchronized step forward. Daniel's body finally obeyed. He ran, sprinting through the alley, past the empty houses, past the church, down the dirt path that had brought him here. His lungs burned, his heart felt ready to explode. But he didn't stop until he burst through the tree line back onto the abandoned road. His car still sat there, silent and broken. Daniel fell against it, gasping for breath. Behind him, the village was gone. Only forest remained. No houses, no church, no path, just trees. He stared, trembling, trying to understand. Had it all been in his head? A nightmare? Then from his car's cracked rearview mirror, he saw it, a pale face, sitting in the back seat, smiling. The end.